Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, well, good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Not too bad, not too bad. It's been a bit of a slow day so far, but getting through. How
Yeah,
about you guys?
yeah,
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 same.
kind of the same. It's actually my sister's birthday today, so we've yeah, just had some presents and there's some balloons flying about.
That sounds really lovely though. You've got the new album coming up. You mentioned that you felt like you were a lot more free with making this newest record. So what would you say helped you find your confidence and freedom to do whatever you want?
I think in terms of this album, I think it definitely comes down to who you're working and creating with. Um, Feldy was, yeah, he just totally got what we kind of wanted to go for on this album and the sound that we wanted to have, whilst kind of experimenting with new instrumentation that we haven't before, but still maintaining, the Hunna sound and what we are. So I think he was probably the biggest influence in that, in terms of he was just so open with all of our ideas and would kind of try everything. So there's no stone left unturned. And then as well, we got new management and our label at 300 in New York have always been super supportive of us, no matter what we wanted to do. So coming out of a bad situation with our ex management and label, where we were kind of restricted and kind of made to be in a certain box or a certain area, we're now kind of just with more people that I guess share the same mindset as us in terms of where the band can go and wants to go. So
And I mean, as you mentioned, you've had a bit of a rough time with your previous record label. So how do you feel these experiences have shaped the band and music that you're now making? What's been the biggest learning experience, I guess, as well?
Hmm.
Big thing for
we've been through an awful lot. So we've been touring as a band for like 5 years or so now. So, and I think, before, when we were with the old label, we were very new to the industry. We had our ideas of what things could be like, but then at the same time, you can't plan it. And as you go along year by year, you realise how complicated the music industry is as well. For us, I think we've just kind of naturally picked up experience as we've gone along. The amount of people we've met, the amount of people we've worked with, that how the fan base has grown and been so supportive throughout all of the trials and tribulations. So I think, if anything, it's made us stronger as people, but as a band and musicians as well. I think it gives us more to talk about, more to write about, and I think we're just in that place now where we're ready to just start the new chapter that we've just created last year in the studio. So we're kind of just ready to get out there and I guess gain more experience, really.
Yeah, I think it stokes your fire, I guess, when something, or you're thrown a challenge or something you weren't expecting. You can either kind of let it break you or get to a point where you want to find something to just keep going and just not stop until you beat them. So, and luckily we're all super close, and we grew up together pretty much, and we all live in the same area, so we we're all like one mind, basically.
Oh, that sounds really nice though. And as you said, like you've had more experience from the past now. So what would you say were the experience that you have taken into the studio this time from previous recording sessions and experiences?
Being more open-minded, I think, is one big thing. Like T said, not leaving any stone unturned, whereas before, I guess it all depends on who you work with as well and the environment. I mean, we were in LA, doing the album, which I think, 5 years ago we would have said is never going to happen. So I think when it gets to it, you're like, wow, we're in America recording an album in a really peaceful private neighbourhood. So I think that as well helps your mindset. That it's sunny out. We've recorded over here twice before with the first 2 albums, and it was quite stressful in the time frame because it was very short, very very quick, and obviously a new thing to us. So I think because we've done it twice before in a rushed circumstances, to have a bit more time and be in a different country really kind of relaxes you, I think, so that you're more focused on the music than the time frame.
Yeah. I mean, something else that we've learned, I don't know. I mean, I'd say, I don't know, I always feel like we are quite prepared going into the studio anyway. Like, even on the first 2 records, I would say that when we're a band that kind of is attention to detail, so we don't let a lot of things slide, or we're kind of on top of a lot of things and want to make sure that we're using our time to the best of that we have, and the most productively, and we want to be as big a professionals as the people we're working with as well. So I think because we were working with people like Feldy as well, who's such a legend in the game, it made us even, and because of what had happened with our ex-label and stuff, we had so many songs, and I think even before we went in, we were just going over everything, like word for word lyrics and all drum parts, guitar parts, just kind of, like Jack said, just anything that we would want to try, or any ideas we kind of had mapped them out before even going in, so that we knew that, okay, we'll try that, and if that doesn't work, then we'll try this. We kind of had loads of little backup plans, and it was quite a smooth, well, it was definitely the smoothest recording process we've ever had so far. So
that sounds amazing. And I've heard that with recording with Feldy, he knows a lot of people, so I've heard that a lot of collaborations happen, like with Travis Barker, Josh Dunn, and everything. And so it sounds like some of them were more spontaneous than others. So what would you say was the most surprising collaboration that ended up happening?
I'd probably say Travis.
Yeah.
Just even though we knew he was very close with Feldy, worked on the Blink album before our album, but in the sense of how much of a legend he is, and how much inspiration of mine he is, I once again, kind of like recording in LA, would have never dreamt. One of my idols is playing on one of our songs. It's pretty out there. But all of them, really, I think, we've never worked with other artists, which we've always wanted to do. So this first time we actually got to meet people, and also for people to, want to come in, and obviously, John was a big part of that. But at the same time, if they didn't like the music, they wouldn't have wanted to. So I think it says a lot that, these big names have come in and have enjoyed doing it. It's a real pleasure to have people like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Travis was probably the wildest. I mean, there was loads of them. Pete Wentz as well.
You're having lunch with the bassist from Fall Out Boy. It's not an everyday thing.
No, not poor boys from Rock, but anyway. So I think, I mean, all of them were crazy, and we're so happy with how they all turned out for our first time properly collabing with other artists. And we'll definitely do it again. I think we already have plans for a few other people when we can get back over to America, whenever that is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists we want to work with. I mean, we kind of almost have a bucket list of rappers and solo singers, lots of female singers, and so and certain guitarists we'd love to feature on the track. So there's an awful lot of people we'd love to work with. So it's kind of just the beginning, really.
That sounds really amazing. And I recall someone once mentioning that you guys actually met them at a Halloween party, and that's how the collaboration came about. Is it?
We were. This was when we were. This is when we were recording the album. And we were there in October, which is obviously Halloween time, and Halloween in America is crazy. So I think there was a week or 2 weeks of Halloween parties all over the place, and we went to Halsey's Halloween party with a couple of friends that we know.
Wow.
And then it was random. It was
an awesome party.
It was awesome. It was really
cool.
cool.
A lot of people.
Avril turned up and performed. We met Evan Peters from American Horror Story, which was amazing because he's one of our favourite actors. And spoke to him. He was dope. Met Halsey. Dan, our guitarist, was dressed as Marilyn Manson, and so was Halsey. So they got talking. But it was a really fun night. But it was like, I mean, that already sounds super random and insane. And then Dan was in the smoking area, met a dude that was a photographer, I think, for Femme, and she was next to him. And then Dan and the photographer got talking. He heard Femme's name, and then he knew that I'd listened to her for like a year or so, and was and I said for this album it'd be cool to get a female vocalist, and I said that I thought her voice would really work well with us. So then he came and grabbed me, and then we went outside straight away, and I was very drunk and just had a conversation with her and said, you know, we love your music, we'd love for you to get involved if you can. We're in LA now doing the album with Feldy, and and then she was super down. She loved our music as well. So it just kind of happened quite naturally. But again, you know, we've never been in situations like that where, you know, you can be at Halsey's Halloween party and then get one of the best, you know, collaborations that we've ever done. And the song turned out so amazing. So very cool.
A story to tell and a story to remember, I guess. And I know that you guys were meant to go on tour for quite a bit of this year, but then the plans had to be halted because of coronavirus. So has this felt like a bit of a setback for the band, especially in terms of upcoming album promotion and building the whole Hunna Mania thing?
I mean, I think for everyone everywhere there's been setbacks, but you know, obviously you make an album and then you base a campaign of it, you know, a year or 2 years on the one album. So we had the whole of this year planned out, and we were going to be everywhere around the world. Basically, we weren't going to be home that much. And this new album was coming out, which was the one that we've been most excited for. So it was definitely a big blow that we, you know, couldn't go on those tours and couldn't get back out and see our fans and be with our fans with this new music that we've got. But you know, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it, and we just decided that the best way that we could kind of get through it, and the best thing for the fans as well, would be to just release more music from the album. So it means that they get to hear more singles off of the album, which is great for us because it was really hard for us to pick like standalone singles because we love all the songs so much. So it's been fun to release that many songs again and again each month, and see how the fans engage to the new sound and the new era of Hunna. But I mean, our shows, I mean, we've rescheduled the tour for next year, and you know, tickets are still selling now, which is pretty crazy given the whole situation everywhere. So, you know, our fans have always been super supportive and really passionate. So we're just kind of got to bide our time and wait until we can be allowed to go and connect with them again. And as soon as we can, we'll be up on a stage wherever it may be to however many people, and we just can't wait to get back out and play.
Yes. And now that touring is off the cards for a little bit, do you guys have a lot of plans for the remainder of this year?
Well, the singles was the kind of switch around for us. It kind of builds up the tension quite nicely to the album drop, which is now October 2nd. You know, there's certain things that we would love to do before the April tour, because obviously it's still a long time away. But I mean, it kind of all depends on how COVID plays out. But at the moment, we're potentially looking into doing some drive-through shows, which a couple of artists are doing as well in England, which would be different but fun. You know, we've talked about potentially jumping in the studio and doing some like a live show, you know, that would be online, which would be fun for the fans to, you know, watch. Obviously, it would be weird with them not being there, but I mean, it's definitely something that would be fun for us to do. And you know, everyone, you know, the music industry is definitely, you know, relying on socials, so I think it would be quite a cool thing to do.
I mean, yeah, we've got more singles coming out, so we've got videos and stuff to sort out for that. The next song is the next song, I think. Yeah, the next song that comes out is, well, I mean, they're all biggies really, but the next one is like the one that the labels and everyone is like, this is it, this is the one. So so that's very exciting that we've got that to come. So yeah, we're kind of talking to writers and directors at the moment and getting ideas for videos for that song ready, which is exciting. And then yeah, I mean, we'll just be kind of focusing on whenever we can play shows, just getting ready, and make sure that we're hot on the music for when we can. Hopefully, maybe by the end of the year, smaller venues might be open. Like we've even spoke about, the first ever shows that we played is the Hunna was Boston Music Rooms in London, 150 cat people, but it was 3 nights in a row. And that was kind of obviously the start of our journey. So if it comes, smaller venues like that can maybe reopen and have shows, then we have spoke about doing a kind of reunion shows and just kind of packing it out and having some intimate shows for the end of the year. That could be awesome.
It would be great as well to support the small venues as well, because obviously they're in a real tricky spot at the moment. So I think that'd be another good incentive for us, because that's where we came from, the small venues.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, still a lot of it goes down to whatever the hell is going to happen with this pandemic. But I mean, it seems like it's slowing down, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, I think live music definitely at the back end of things reopening. So it's we've got to be patient, but yeah, we're trying to just stay productive, really.
And just itching to get back out on the road, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Just can't
play
wait
together, and
yeah. I mean, we've got the we've got a single coming out this Friday.
Exciting.
Which is a song that we've had since 2019 summer, when we had festivals and we had tours after that. And we got the demo back from Feldy just before, I think it was literally like 3 or 4 days before we were going out on tour. And we loved it. And we were like, we have to play this on tour and just, you know, let's just try it and see if people dig it. And people went crazy for it straight away. And it's a really easy one for people to pick up. It's a fun song. So yeah, that's finally coming out on Friday, so a lot of people are excited about that, and the video for that is comprised of live footage and stuff like that from last year. So yeah, it was cool to put that together and watch it back and kind of reminisce about last year and how much excitement there was and everything that was going on, compared to this year, obviously. So I mean, we're hoping that video as well will bring some joy to people and kind of, I don't know, remind people even more that, you know, it will come back, live music at some point. We just have to continue to be patient, but we can get back to those times of, you know, standing in a field with thousands of people, super drunk and super free.
Yeah, can't wait for festivals and everything to restart again. So I've got a couple more light-hearted questions now. So, if you had to advertise a new album to someone who's never heard of the Hunna in one sentence, how would you pitch it?
How would you want to?
How would you pitch it? It's very good. I would say
As in describing like the third album.
Yeah.
I would say it's so hard. The easiest way to do it.
Freestyle it.
Because I've written stuff on the back of the album sleeve as well. I'm trying to remember those. So I would say it's. I mean, we like to call it our own Hunna Horror Story. So it's slightly horror themed in the sense of what's happened to us and overcoming adversity and finding strength in times of darkness. It's about revenge. It's about anger. It's about love, loss, and yeah. What else?
Real life. World. I mean, it transcends into world problems as well.
Yeah,
some of the songs.
Yeah, it's definitely a coming of age album as well, I'd say.
And then rock/trap, really.
Yeah.
Trap rock.
Turn up rock. Turn up
trap rock.
That's 3 good words to describe it. Turn up rock.
Yeah, love it. I feel like there was a whole collection of sentences there, just thrown. It's just like, take it. That's great. If your sound had a colour, what colour would it be?
If your sound?
If our sound had a colour.
Oh.
It'd have to, well, for me, it'd have to go blood red. Especially for this.
I'd say blood red with like an outline of black.
Nice.
And lockdown's been easing gradually over here in the UK. So what was the first thing you did since it was lifted? Because I think everyone was a bit antsy towards the end of it.
The first thing we did, I mean, obviously, Saturday, all the pubs and stuff opened and everyone went wild and went out. We did not, however. We kind of just still been chilling. I mean, we've seen a few more people that we haven't been able to see, like family and friends and stuff. So we had some friends over and had some drinks and kind of celebrated a little bit, but it's still early on, so we don't want to. I mean, I don't feel comfortable going out to Soho and being in that just yet.
It doesn't feel normal yet, so it's kind of a bit pointless to think it's normal and go out and be like, oh yeah, it's all good now. It's rather relax in a bar when it is normal.
Yeah, I just want to go back to a bar and stuff when it's kind of a bit more normal and you're not still kind of unsure of what to do and what's happening. But I mean, we've done a few photo shoots again, which was cool for not kind of creating anything in a long time. It was nice to get out and actually go and create some cool pictures and stuff with our photographer Mila. But yeah, I mean, that's
not a lot.
That's about it, really. I mean, we just hang with each other and just make music.
And who in the band is the most likely to survive a global catastrophe?
Oh,
a global catastrophe.
I mean,
that's a very good question. Never been asked that.
What
you know?
Give us an example of catastrophe. What type of catastrophe would it be?
I guess
like a zombie apocalypse.
Oh,
is that okay to use?
Yeah, I was going to say zombie apocalypse. That's kind of the go-to scenario, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, I mean, I don't want to be biased. No, I would say that all of us together are stronger together.
Yeah, I think we'd be in trouble by ourselves.
I think at any one time, if we were, say, running around somewhere in the streets and there were zombies after us or whatever, and we were kind of hiding in a room or something, I reckon if one of us went off and got strangled, they're done. Like, I don't think they'd survive. I feel like all of us together.
Like we might not even survive together.
Maybe not. I mean, I've got high hopes.
Okay.
Be pretty good in a zombie apocalypse.
I would probably vote you over, definitely.
Well, I could carry you on my back though.
True.
Never leave a man behind, is what I always say.
A bit like Yoda on the back of Luke.
Yeah, it'd be like Luke Skywalker with Yoda on the back.
Although Dan could Dan could see more zombies coming because he's tall.
Shit, Dan's really tall, so
he'd be on lookout.
He does wear glasses though, so.
Oh yeah, true. Long distance.
This is what I mean. We have to help each other.
Yeah, we do. I'll throw drumsticks at people.
Yeah, you got drumstick nunchucks.
Turn them into like little steak.
I can use a microphone lead to like choke them out.
Yeah.
And, like bash them around the head. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want any of us to be separated. I think we're a much stronger unit together. And I think maybe we've survived our own little apocalypse in the past year or so with the X label and stuff. You know, you go through dark times and hard times and being like, what's actually going on here? Can we really? And it can get you down quite a bit. But you know, we all stuck together. Like even before the Hunna became the Hunna, we had setbacks and knockbacks, and the only way we got through it was collectively together, holding each other up and keep having the same mentality that we can do this and we believe in the music and we will get there.
It's still the same now.
Still the same now. So yeah, if there were zombies after us, I think we can get through this. We can beat the zombies together.
Zombies on the Hunna.
No, they don't.
No.
And given that you guys were out in LA recording the album, when would you say was the last time you ever felt very starstruck? Because I imagine there was probably quite a few interactions out there that were a bit unexpected.
The last time we were starstruck.
The last time.
What about you?
I'm trying to think of coming back from recording the album and if anything's happened since. I don't think anything's happened since because it was quite soon after that we got into lockdown.
Well, we went to do 10 days of press in LA after the album.
Oh yeah, in January.
So we just went back to do some like acoustic shows, to do some press for the album. Obviously before the pandemic, thinking the album was out in April.
Yeah.
And we went to a couple of Grammy parties, which we didn't expect, and Billie Eilish performed at the Spotify one, and Lil Nas walked past us, and that was quite a starstruck moment.
Yeah, we said hello to him.
I actually got starstruck when Rich the Kid, do you know Rich the Kid, the rapper?
No, I'm not too familiar, unfortunately.
There was a lot of rappers as well, and Miley Cyrus's sister.
Oh yeah, Noah Cyrus turned up, that was cool.
Quite a lot of people in one party where it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, it was the first time that we've been to like any kind of Grammy week stuff over there. And it's definitely like a whole different world. So that was super exciting for us. But yeah, there was quite a few famous decks and Rich the Kid that are on 300 with us, but we've never kind of met them in person. Who else? I mean, Pete Wentz, when we did the album, for me was a big one. Oh, I met Mikey Way at from My Chemical Romance at the Simple Creatures show in LA. I was actually with them and grandson and Dan and some friends, and he was there. And yeah, my friend introduced me. And at the time, because it was so loud at the show, like I hate that as well when it's loud and you try and have a conversation with someone, it's just like you don't even know what they're saying, so you just like and then they could be saying anything. So I didn't even really realize it was him, and I said, and they were like, oh, it's Mikey, and I was like, oh, hi man, nice to meet you. And then that was it. And then I kind of like took 5 minutes, and then when they shut up I like realized again, and I went back, I was like, I'm so sorry dude, I've just got to say like I love your band so much. And because I used to have his bass guitar, I used to have an MCR calendar, I had the bags, I had the badges, I had everything. So yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, I used to be in my room listening to MCR, practicing doing eyeliner and shit on myself. And then my dad would walk in like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, so that was crazy as well. I mean, there's been so many. Pete Wentz, again, a huge fan of his, and seen him play so many times. You know, those bands were bands that I grew up on, listening to and getting influence from. So yeah,
I've got to just add in there, meeting Brian May as a kid was definitely the biggest starstruck moment as well. Because like T saying, with who you grow up on, well, we're a serious influence. So yeah, and then Brian May I had to be the second time around in my kitchen because my dad was mastering his album. So my dad was in the garden and came downstairs, and Brian May was just in the kitchen. And I was just like, "You want a cup of tea?" And he was like, "That'd be lovely." So that was pretty bizarre.
That'd be lovely.
That was definitely the starstruck moment.
Damn,
Well,
yeah. Imagine just walking down to your kitchen, Brian May sitting there. It's just like, am I dreaming? Do I have to pinch myself kind of moment, I guess.
But he's an absolute legend. We actually tried to get him on the track as well, which didn't fall into place. But I mean, he's Brian May, so we'll let him off.
Yeah.
But hopefully in the future we'll get Brian on the track one day.
Yeah. Oh, one I just forgot actually was last year at Reading and Leeds, and we got passes from Post Malone's management to watch Side of Stage. Treat and unexpected, and we got on with them really well, and then they let us into the backstage bit afterwards. So very London, and loads of Posties crew were just there, like hanging out, and we just kind of walked in like, oh, okay, all right, and then we just sat down, had some drinks, and spoke to a few of them, and they were super nice, and they knew quite a lot of people from 300. So we were just talking about that, but that was really surreal to be obviously in Post Malone's backstage.
He wasn't hanging out there, which was quite like we were quite sad. But then obviously you saw him. Yeah, leaving, wasn't it?
Well, he was in the area. There's like the area where everyone was, and then there's like a walkway, and we were already inside, and I was going out to get more alcohol to bring in. And then as I was walking out, I just like walked around this corner, and Posty was talking to two of his mates, and they kind of like stopped talking and looked at me, and I was just like, all right. And I just walked on, and I was just like, Posty, just want to say thank you, man. Your set was inspiring, and you're dope. And he was just like, thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
so he was super nice.
The backstage we were in, because we were main stage, it was obviously with all of the the headliners basically. Mm-hmm. So the little grassed area with all the little mobile huts with Billie Eilish, Post Malone, and then it was like AJ Tracy and a few others. It was kind of that, we've made it.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, Dave Grohl was knocking about. That's what I mean. Last year was just crazy.
Yeah, it was the best year.
It was the best year. From last year to this year, it's just like the two different dynamics are just so
extreme.
Yeah, so extreme. But all that happened, and that was super exciting, and that's still going to carry on. We just have to wait a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, definitely from what it sounds like, we could have done a whole interview just on what happened last year. There's so much, it sounds like.
We met a lot of people, for sure.
Yeah. And I guess...
Oh, wait. All right, which is a really random one. Jack had a rap battle with Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones.
Wow. How did that come about and happen?
Oh, funny enough, we were at Stormzy's album launch party. So I met Stormzy as well, which was... in the same night, just in this small bar in LA, and and then Reed came in, and out of nowhere we're just having drinks and a cigarette with Alfie.
Yeah, and then they started spitting some bars, and that was it. Yeah, rap battle commenced.
I think because we're English, it helped as well, because straight away he noticed we were English, and obviously you stick out though with an English accent. So.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if we could get any chance of that featuring on an upcoming album, I think that'd be pretty wicked.
Well, me too. We have spoke about that. I think we should reach out.
Number?
I'm not sure.
We'll message him. We'll see what we can do.
Too drunk.
Yeah. And just to wrap up everything, I've got a couple of quick fire questions. So, movies or TV?
Movies. Do love TV though.
Love a TV series though. Do you know what I mean? Like Stranger Things.
But if there was no movies, I'd be so bummed.
Yeah. All right, we'll go movies. So.
Movies. City or country?
City or country, was that?
Yeah.
Country.
Country, yeah.
Pub or club?
Used to be club, now pub. Depends what type of club, but probably club.
Yeah, we'll go club.
Some clubs are pretty boring.
Yeah.
Cheese or chocolate?
What was that?
Cheese or chocolate?
Oh, cheese.
I love both. I'm gonna have to go with cheese. I have a lot of cheese.
I think I'd have to go for chocolate.
Oh, bit of a dividing opinion there. And finally, tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos or piercings?
Got to be tats.
Yeah, got a few of both, but yeah, tattoos.
I do like the piercing, but
I'm itching to get so much more.
Tats. That's the answer.
I mean, they can
both.
Yeah, why not go for both? So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And do you have any just final words for your fans or anything? Any really profound quotations you kind of want to throw out?
I mean, I don't know about profound, but I'll just say thank you guys so much again for sticking with us and being supportive through these weird times. We're all in it together. You know, we can see an end in sight, so everyone just keep safe. Stay at home as much as you can without seeing too many people and going crazy, so that we can get back to playing shows and being together again and having fun.